City Sounds. Creating podcasts, creating podcasters.
Welcome to the City Magazine show, where this week it's all about food. Ellie, you hungry?
Yeah, I could eat.
Well, are you hungry for some top quality audio content delivered piping hot to your feed?
Sure am.
Great. What?
Nothing.
Well, in this week's show, Chloe goes on a Maltese culinary adventure.
Finlay talks food and football as he takes us on a walk through North London on matchday as Arsenal play Real Madrid.
And we hear from some of our listeners about the food that means the most to them.
Sounds yummy.
I've come to Malta for a few days to record interviews for my final project. My first stop is Valletta, the capital. Usually when I land somewhere new, one of the first things I do is check out a local bakery. The Maltese equivalent of a Cornish pasty is the pastis. Pastizzeria is down one of the sloping side streets. Beneath its smart blue signage, it's barely more than a gap in the wall. It's got a heated display cabinet brimming with golden pastries. I hand over my 50 cents and I'm rewarded with my first pastis, which I wolf down on the street corner because I'm so well brought up. Within its flaky pastry layers is its filling of salty ricotta cheese, all puffed up from the bake. The thing can't be eaten neatly, and with each bite I scatter much of it on the pavement. I'm quickly mobbed by pigeons. Okay, sweet things next. Culinary and Sons is a classic-looking patisserie with an ice cream counter at the front and a flamboyant display of pastel Easter goods in its window. Inside are rows of pick-and-mix containers, shelves with chocolate boxes, and a large curved glass counter stacked with cream cakes, buns, cannoli, tarts and more.
Could you just say your name and the name of the store?
So, my name is George, and this is from Culinary Sal Hello, or the sweet shop in Valletta.
And can you tell me about some of the specific sweets that you have? I can see some things at the front here.
Oh, so this one is actually for Lent season. We have the sweet asata, it's with sweet ricotta. But also I can introduce you like the traditional Maltese for Easter. We have the figoli ones, especially we have the figoli bites, it's made with pure almonds. We also have like different designs, shapes as well. They're very famous every time in Easter.
The figoli come in cheerful shapes: lambs, doves and ducks, piped with neat white icing.
Also, the quaresimals, it's a bit of rose water with almonds, a bit of cinnamony. That's very good. People very like it, everyone.
Can you just describe what the special Easter sweets cassata is? Can you describe what it looks like and what it's made out of?
So this one is made with sweet ricotta inside, so the bread covering it all over, and then on top is with like royal icing, a bit of gelatin glaze, and a cherry on top. That is very good, actually.
And is that something that you would typically have at Easter then in Malta, do you think?
Yes, every time in Easter or in Lent season, we always have this ones, especially with the quaresimals as well. They're like cinnamony with rose waters and almonds as well. It's quite good.
I like the look of these. Are these little macaroons?
Oh no, this one is mandorletti actually. It's made with almonds inside. It's very sweet, this one. It's also traditional Maltese. It's pure almonds.
What are these things along here, these sort of longer fondant things?
This one is a pasta frolla almonds. It's made with pure almonds, and in the center it has an almond paste.
And so I wonder, what is your favourite out of these things?
That's a difficult one, but of course I would prefer the pasta frolla almonds. It's very good, especially when it's fresh out of the oven. It's very gooey. It's very like not very sweet, but it hit the spot. You know?
Okay, I think I'm going to have to take one of those home with me then. Thank you. I'm on a mission to try everything. It all looks delicious. Love it. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your help. And I shall buy this at the counter. Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
I ate that Easter biscuit out of its paper bag in my hotel room later. It had a slightly cakey texture and a layer of melty, sweet, fragrant marzipan. So good. Back to the main meal. Like many tourist hotspots, Valletta has whole streets crammed with restaurant seating, the waiters perched on the front steps, ready to swoop down and invite you to a table. Amongst the pizzas and pastas, there are the more traditional dishes on offer. There's octopus and vivid little red prawns, bean dip and garlicky Maltese sausage, and hob's bijet, crisp slices of bread drizzled in olive oil topped with fresh tomatoes, capers and olives. Bracioli are rolls of beef stuffed with breadcrumbs and boiled eggs, then braised. And then there's the famed rabbit stew, the national dish of Malta.
So my name is John, and this is the office restaurant, the office bistro. This is a family-run business, and I'm one of the supervisors over here.
What kind of food do you serve?
So we serve Mediterranean food and also traditional Maltese food. You have the Maltese meze, which contains Maltese sausages, sun-dried tomatoes, beans, and salads.
And what about the famous rabbit stew? How do you make it here?
So the Maltese rabbit is braised, so it's cooked on a way of a stew. Although it's thicker than a stew, it's made with peas, and it's served with chips and salad.
Is there a reason why the rabbit is the national dish of Malta?
Well, at that time, I mean, the story that we know, at that time there weren't much things to eat over here. So then they had a lot of rabbits. So that's why it came as a national dish.
Yeah.
There weren't a lot, so they had to consume something that was plenty of them. That's why.
What's your favourite dish?
Oh, my favorite is the rabbit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How often would you eat it? Would you typically have it sort of like, I don't know, on a Sunday, or is it a special dish?
No, there's no such things as Sunday or Monday. It doesn't really matter. You just eat it. You like it, and that's it.
Yeah. And is there anything else that someone travelling to Malta, such as myself, should try before I leave?
So you should definitely try the Maltese soup, the aliotta,
Yeah.
which is a fish soup. It's very nice. It contains a lot of herbs, which are planted here.
What sort of herbs and fish would go into it?
Well, there is different types. So every restaurant uses differently.
Yeah. What would your restaurant do though?
Oh, to be honest with you, you have to check with the kitchen about that, because
okay.
they don't say
tell.
the secrets.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Would they tell me their secrets?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I don't think so. Sorry.
Okay. Thank you so much. It's really interesting to see.
You're very welcome.
My name is Alessia.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Yes, so the name is Tanadia of the restaurant. It's the name of my mom. We are Ukrainian. But by Maltese language, Tanadia, it's at Tanadia house.
I'd love to know about the rabbit. How do you cook it at your restaurant?
So first it's fried with garlic. Garlic, it's the main in oil. Then they do slow cook in the red wine, and then they add fresh onion and green peas, and it's take about 1.5 hours, so the meat will get very tender, so it will get out from the bones. It's very simple, but it's nice.
What do you serve in terms of the fish? Because I saw something that you had earlier on. It was a really delicious looking platter.
Seafood pasta. The seafood is fresh and it's nice.
How's that made?
The seafood pasta, very olive oil, white wine.
And it's literally that?
Yes, olive oil, white wine. There will be just a little bit chopped of tomato, hint of garlic, just a hint of chili. That's it.
What sort of seafood do you tend to put in, and where does it come from?
There is local seafood, and there is from Italy, from Sicily. There is prawns, there is octopus, there is mussels, depends on the season.
So really fresh, really local then?
Yes.
What do you serve in the way of desserts at your restaurant?
Desserts, it's my desserts, homemade desserts.
Please tell me about the desserts.
Oh, it's we don't have menu because every day I come, whatever I feel like to do, I'm just doing that. So, but every day I have to have tiramisu. Then there is Ukrainian cakes. Today there is lemon cake. It's kind of sponge with two different cream. One of them is very sour with lemon. So there will be balanced sweet and sour, and pistachio on top, some chocolate. Then there is cannoli. A few days ago there was Napoleon.
And how did you learn to make all of those desserts?
From my mom, I think.
Just picked it up?
She used to do a lot of cakes. What I saw when I was little.
So it's a real blend of your Ukrainian heritage and Maltese and Mediterranean.
It's mostly Mediterranean, but because I'm Ukrainian, my husband he's Maltese, so we are mixed. We don't have Ukrainian menu, but when there is, I always have something from Ukrainian food. So if I know that there is table Ukrainian, obviously I'm going to give them something from me to them. It's like that. It's a little family thing.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And
All right.
always welcome.
Okay, thank you.
See you.
Bye.
I didn't get to stay in Valletta, unfortunately. My project took me to the northern resort town of St Paul's Bay, which isn't the loveliest location, being honest. I don't think even St Paul wanted to be there, as the place gets its name for where he was shipwrecked. I went to an Italian restaurant, which will remain nameless in this report, and I ordered rabbit ravioli served in a tomatoey stew sauce. Let's just say it wasn't the best example of its kind. Within the rather claggy pasta, the filling was darkly sour and textured more like liver or offal. I felt suspicious while eating it, which isn't what you want at dinner. Across the room, a table of English tourists were being very forthright to their waitress about how much they disliked the food, though they cheered up considerably when the chef brought them some free dessert. Reminds me of that old joke. Two elderly ladies are dining in a restaurant. One turns to the other and says, "The food here is terrible." And the other replies, "I know, and such small portions." But look, I want to tell you about something good that I ate in that town. The next night I arrived late after a long day of recording and went to a Bulgarian restaurant called The Brothers. It's decked out like a traditional taverna, the walls cluttered with knickknacks and Balkan pop music blaring through the speakers. I ordered braised pork with leeks, and it was just what I wanted. The sauce had that kind of sweet, brothy fattiness and the warmth of herbs and spices. I asked the owner about it, and he explained it's flavoured with a classic Bulgarian spice mix known as sharina sol. I looked it up. It's paprika, salt, a herb called savoury, and it's pounded together with thyme and fenugreek. So there you go. If you wash up in St Paul's Bay, go see The Brothers. And here's a funny thing that happened on my last night in St Paul's Bay. I was in another restaurant and got chatting to the lady on the table next to me, who regularly visits Malta. Naturally, I asked about her favourite places to eat.
Do you mind just telling me about your favourite restaurant in Valletta?
Yes, every time when you came, the fish is fresh, the octopus is fresh. All what you want is, you can smell it, you can, when you see the food, is amazing.
What's really surprising is that Christina was just showing me on the map and explaining where it was, and I suddenly realised that it was the place where I had interviewed the owner on Sunday. So it's the very same place as your favourite restaurant.
Yes, of course. The Tanadia is one of the best restaurants when you want to eat fish or octopus. The owners are very friendly and make all what you want, and it's perfect.
Right, so I'm just at the British Library in London King's Cross doing some work, but mainly trying to keep my mind off the football later. See, my team Arsenal are playing Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final. Now, I appreciate that won't mean much to some of you guys listening, but I assure you it means a lot to us Arsenal fans. And I've just come outside to eat my very beige, sad British meal deal, and in the distance I can hear some football fans making a lot of noise, and I think they sound Spanish. And since this week's magazine show is all about food, and as I stare at this soggy Tesco wrap, it got me thinking, Madrid has such a vibrant food culture, so how does their food at the football stack up to ours? Let's go and ask them. I'm just making a piece about food and football.
Oh, definitely.
When you go to football games in Spain, what kind of food do you eat? Do you eat in the stadium? Is the food nice in the stadiums?
So, like, I believe it depends where you go in Spain, because like different communities have like different kind of food. But for example, all the food trucks that you can find outside, or maybe like tapas, classic, before the game, like maybe 2-3 hours before the game, and obviously beer, like, you know, for sure beer.
Yeah, that seems like a common thing across all football.
Oh, definitely. It's like the time that we reunite each other, and obviously we gather, and you know, at the end of that very long week, you deserve like to have a couple of beers for sure.
I agree. What will you be eating today? And will you be eating food in the stadium tonight or around the stadium?
Probably today, like, you know, classic fish and chips, just to enjoy the local food. And then, like, I don't know, like wherever we find. I've heard like the hot dogs here and also the burgers around the stadium will be an option for sure.
Do you get burgers and hot dogs in Spanish Spain as well? Because I feel like that's quite a kind of bad sort of English thing. But
well, I believe, like, you know, English food is not well known, but like, you know, all the influence that you can find from India, from Bangladesh, you can find like also like nice curry or like different cuisines. But like, if I say, well, in Spain, it's definitely like tapas, bocadillos, that is like a main sandwich with, like, I don't know how to call it, like hard bread, like you put like jamon, queso and cheese and all the stuff.
I bring my own food, like sab I make at home. I bring it to the stadium.
And you can, and you're allowed to bring food into the Bernabeu, yeah?
Yeah, you're allowed. Even though I really enjoy Spanish food, I follow one account in Twitter, which is called Footiscran.
Yeah, I know the guy.
Yeah, and I see what they post, and I think they here in the UK it's like maybe more common to have food in the stadiums than it is in Spain. In Spain, it's really common to bring your own food to the stands.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You have like, how do you call it, like foil paper?
Yeah.
You know, that you wrap your bocadillo, and then obviously like at the break time, you know, half time, you get your sandwich. We used to drink beer also in the stadiums, but nowadays I believe you are not allowed to do that. But like, it's the time also to talk about what happened in the football game and to obviously talk with your family and your friends that you're spending time with.
Yeah, that's interesting, because you very rarely see people bringing their own food to like the English stadium.
Oh, really?
Well, okay, I'm an Arsenal fan, so maybe the Emirates, but okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, some Arsenal fans have just walked past. Sorry for any bad language you're hearing. I can't speak Spanish, so I have no idea.
Madrid is more like restaurant with beer.
Yeah.
A lot of beer. In Spain we have a lot of beer in the stadium,
We have the same here as well.
Yeah, also, yeah. We can see. In Spain the food is the best thing we have. The food in Spain is the best you can find.
Yeah.
In all restaurants you have good food.
Prediction for today?
1-3.
To Arsenal, yeah?
1-3?
To Arsenal.
No. 1-3 to Madrid. You are from Arsenal.
London. Yeah. I am.
Respect. They always respect.
2-2.
2-2. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll win. Well, we got a lot less British food slander than I was expecting, but I'm assuming you guys listening at home probably think that British food culture is pretty dreary. You know, a fat bloke with a greasy burger and a can of Stella. But for my team Arsenal, at least, it's not really the case. See, the Emirates, the Arsenal Stadium, is in Finsbury Park, North London, which has a pretty vibrant food scene with influences from around the world. And in fact, a lot of the residential streets leading up to the Emirates have kind of food stalls, restaurants, and even a few front gardens that are turned into makeshift takeaways. I've always wondered what it's like running these places. Well, I'm heading to the Emirates now, so we might as well ask them. Right, so I'm now by the Emirates. Lots of Arsenal fans, lots of Real Madrid fans, lots of half and half scarves. Not a fan of them personally. But let's find out what people are eating.
My name is Chris. I'm from Cyprus originally, and I live in England for the last 45 years. And we started last year before the end of the season. We brought Taste of Cyprus to the goodness here. We serve lovely kebabs, gyros, souvenirs, everything.
Out of all of the food, have you seen if it changed, like different cuisines come in around the Emirates?
Well, I believe, I'm not too quite sure to be honest with you, but the reports we get back here, they're lovely to see our food here. It makes a change from burgers and sausages. So, you know, we have a sitting area as well. People can come and see our quality food. Do you want a gyro?
Huh?
Do you want a gyro?
I will come back later. Thank you. I'm just making a thing about food and football.
Yeah, come on.
Can I ask you a couple of questions? How long have you been serving food to Arsenal fans?
We've been here for, I think, 2 years now, but officially this restaurant opened 9 months ago.
What kind of food do you guys do?
It's Caribbean, so things like jerk chicken, oxtail, curry goat. But obviously matchday we do hot dogs, burgers, some street food, you know.
Have you started to see the kind of food that people want like change, or do people still want the burgers and the hot dogs?
They want both, to be honest.
Yeah.
So if they've got time, they'll sit down, eat some proper food. If they're in a rush, they'll grab a burger and keep it moving.
Okay, brilliant. All right, thank you very much. So what's your name, Robert?
Chris.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Take care, man.
How long have you been serving food to Arsenal fans?
2 years.
What kind of food do you make?
Chinese food.
Have you seen the Chinese food become more popular than the burger and the chips?
Depends. Like, I think Chinese food they love it but different. You know, the burger is like fast food, and Chinese like more preparation. It's a bit different this one. Like evening time, we Chinese more busy. Like if starting morning time, there's busy.
Okay.
Yeah, so the customer a bit different.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
My name is Adrian. We serve a Spanish traditional paella.
Have you been having much Real Madrid fans come around?
Yeah, I don't like Real Madrid. You know, I'm a Sevilla supporter. You know what I mean. So I hope Arsenal kick their ass tonight. You know what I mean.
Lovely, look, good to hear that. How long have you been serving food to the Arsenal fans?
So this is our first season. You know, it's growing very, very well. You know, like we start back in September. You know, and we've been growing skyrocket. So really, really happy to be here. You know what I mean.
A lot of love for the paella?
Yeah, they love it, you know, it's something different, you know, everyone like have burgers, hot dogs, you know, at least they have something quite different, you know what I mean?
That's what we've been seeing. A lot of people still serve the burgers and the hot dogs, but they've been seeing more and more people want to try different things at the football.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Things are changing in this city, you know what I mean, so we need to embrace it, you know?
Vic, thank you very much, mate.
No
Thank
problem,
you.
man.
Right, so I've just found a quiet place to eat my food, and ironically, I went for the Spanish paella. I know, I feel like a bit of a traitor. But anyway, I'm going to finish this up, and it's time to head over to the pub and watch some football. Alright, so I'm now leaving the pub. Arsenal won 3-0. No one expected that. It's been an excellent night. I thought I'd be going to drown my sorrows with a kebab. Instead, I'm going to go celebrate with a kebab.
Now, to finish up on this episode, let's hear from some of our listeners about the recipes, dishes and food that means the most to them.
My most memorable dish is actually two dishes, which was my grandpa's ginger cake and my nan's apple and rhubarb crumble, because every time we'd go up on Sunday to see them, we'd go up for a roast dinner, and then after the roast, my nan would bring out her apple and rhubarb crumble, and we'd have ice cream, custard with that. And then following that, when we were all so full, my grandpa would bring out his apple and ginger cake, and we'd have that with a cup of tea, and we'd always find room for it. And it was just the best desserts in the world, and I would never change them for the world.
I think my favourite meal in the world is just the best roast dinner in the world, which I can make. From honey roasted carrots to the crispiest potatoes ever, to amazing Yorkshire puddings and delicious slow roast pork or lamb or a chicken. They're so versatile, and when you've mastered each and every aspect, you can create the most beautiful meal in the world. It does take all day and you eat it in 10 minutes, but that's just because it's delish.
The food that meant the most to me growing up that my grandma used to make was aloo paratha. She'd typically make it on Saturday or Sunday mornings. It was my favourite because it was a once in a while treat. It's quite a simple dish, relatively speaking. It's got 2 chapatis that I made, and instead of just heating it up on the tawa, you'd cook it in oil so it's nice and crispy, and it would be filled with spicy potato. But sometimes you would make it with it's not horseradish, what would it be in English? I think it is horseradish, which tasted proper nice and it's quite different. But yeah, that's my favourite dish growing up.
So my memorable dish is macaroni cheese. This is my favourite dish growing up as a kid. Always used to ask my mum to make it for me for my birthday. Creamy cheesiness. She always used to try and sneak some vegetables in there, and I was always be arguing with her to just put bacon in. And I made this last week actually with my housemates. Just a block of mature cheddar, pretty basic, some bacon in there and some breadcrumbs on top, grill it. Oh, it's just delicious. Have it with some vegetables, maybe some broccoli on the side, maybe some chicken, bit of hot sauce, some garlic bread. Oh, delicious.
So my favourite food is the food that I was raised on by my grandmother. She's taught me every recipe that she knew, aside from the really hard ones. But this is my culture, my food are so closely connected. But the one recipe I talk about is a chili paneer. It's very simple. It's paneer cooked in a way, but my grandma, she can reverse engineer food. She tastes something at a restaurant and she can tell you exactly how it's cooked. Now, she never cooked that. That wasn't her main dish. However, I once said I liked her at an Indian restaurant. She took it takeaway, went home, tasted it, reverse engineered the whole food, and then by the next time I saw her, she'd made me an even better version of the restaurant chili paneer. That is Nani Ma's chili paneer. I'm just so how about that?
Thanks for listening to the City Sounds magazine show, created and produced by the MA podcasting students here at City St. George's.
If you like this episode, why not check out some of the back catalogue and look out for the pilot series coming out this Wednesday to hear what we've been working on throughout the year.
City Sounds. Creating podcasts, creating podcasters.